I've got another guide for you. Let's continue forward from the shores of Hidden Hills right after leaving Stowaway Steppe. Your first quest starts with a missing person at the 2 tents up ahead. After that, we follow the road up to the little village. Each class merchant should have a quest for that specific class. Paladin and Duelist both end up in the Bonepits, which we'll be going to in a minute. I don't know the Druid class quest here, but the Arcanist would need a bag of fairy dust from the zone over. You can do this now or after we get done with the Bonepits. For the Arcanist, head east into Faerie's Break, staying east-northeast. If you're patient, there's a name that spawns here. After you've got your bag, go turn it in. Talk to Samuel, the general merchant guy, for his quest. He'll give you a note we'll get to later. Before heading into the Bonepits, look around the area you're in for a little bit. There's a camp of bandits and some undead right next to each other, near the Duskenlight Coast zone line. There's a guy in Port Azure that'll want your wolf and bear meat, so try to save what you find. The dungeon is just north, pretty much right in front of the village. Head inside when you're done exploring and start clearing. You need a grave moss leaf if you're a paladin, that I've seen drop from the necros, and a horn from the avatars of Sivakaya if you're a duelist. The necros also drop an idol of Sivakaya you'll want to hold on to for crafting. At the bottom of this place is where you'll find a couple more bosses and avatars you need. You'll also run across this faded entry page, which will be used somewhat as a guide as we go through the game. Finish up in the dungeon and go turn in your class quest back in town. The last thing you can do before heading to Port Azure is pick up some pretty sweet swords for a druid to dual wield. Up in Duskenlight Coast, off to the right, not far after you enter the zone, is this druid name that can be up waiting to give you their weapon. If it's not up, just kill the placeholder mob standing in your way and wait for the respawn. Rinse and repeat until you get the named, its swords, and whatever else it drops. Now we can make our way to Port Azure. Go back to Hidden Hills and go east into Faerie's Bank. Grab the quest at the first house on the left along the road as you run east to the port. Just up the road is the NPC you turn in 4 different map fragments to get a completed treasure map. Keep following the road east to get to the port. Once inside, the very first house on the left is Fredrick. This is the guy that wants your meat, specifically your wolf and bear meat. Almost directly across from here, behind the Paladin building, is the NPC you talk to get back to Stowaway Steppe. Someone's already made a guide on that, so we won't go through it here. This next quest is for the Arcanist. If you take a sharp right from the entrance and go down the alleyway, you'll end up at a lighthouse. Talk to this merchant and grab what looks like a portal quest. Again, from the entrance, go straight up the stairs this time and through the archway on the left to find the captain for a couple more quests we won't be doing in this video, and you won't be doing until many levels later. I don't know what level Ripper is, and I don't know exactly what info this guy wants yet. Right below is the banker and a few vendors you should check out. The food merchant inside the inn sells Azure Mead you'll need 3 of later. I'd get them now and stick them in your bank until you reach Ripper's Keep. Everything is useful here, including the food. For Duelist, I've been using Sea Spice as the extra food buff for the boss fights. However, the extra buff isn't something you'll need now, and it's pretty expensive just starting off, so you can skip it if you want. When it comes to the gear and weapons, you'll find better stuff almost immediately in the dungeons. But this will be a good starter set and you're not really wasting money. If you have Aetheria, make sure you keep one on you for the next part we'll be doing. Oh, look at that. There's the banker. In the house next to the banker is a repeatable faction quest you can pick up. Rottenfoot Sashes. Rottenfoot Sashes, probably from undead dudes. Swamp up north, there's no... Alright. The last thing we'll do here is find Azure Arms in the south. Go upstairs and turn in Samuel's note. Now we go to Vitheo's Watch in the next dungeon. Go back through Faerie's Break and take the road west until it breaks off to the south. You should have your Ethereal with you. Talk to the vendor and take the quest and give it to her. If you didn't have any, the giants down below have a small chance of dropping it. There's a few named here you can attempt to kill. If you can't kill them now, you will after you get out the dungeon we're heading to. Head over to the west side of the zone and start clearing the Molorai. Follow the road up to Krakengard. There's a name that spawns in a tent closest to the zone line. In Krakengard, we'll do the same thing here as we did in the Bonepits and clear everything. From the entrance, on the right is the bunker you need a key for. Straight ahead leads to the tower and downstairs. Left from the entrance is just another way to get downstairs where the first key and quest update will be. Save all the rubies you find, we're going to need those later for another quest. The brewer spawns in a back room with 4 groups of mobs. Kill her for the key, though she won't always drop it. Right around the corner from the brewer is a fake wall with a few mobs behind it and the quest turn in. The only thing left to do is grab the keys for the other quests we picked up in Faerie's Break. Once you get the Bunk key, go use it on the door so you can collect another one for the quest. I don't know if you can have more than one on you. The tower key drops from Captain Sigrid up in the Bunk, as well as page 2 of the Fated Entries. If you want, you can use the tower key to take out the big boss. You'll need to kill Sigrid again for another tower key afterwards. When you're done in there, go turn in your key quest in Faerie's Break, then go back to the port. You'll need a Sivakayans for this next part. If you don't have one, that's alright, because you most likely won't have the levels for it anyway. At the docks in the southern part of the port is another fake wall. Talk to the NPC behind it with your passphrase and head in. Talk to this NPC and give her a Sivakayans. She'll give you a key to the place in the back. We'll come back to this. The last thing we'll do is grab some sea spice and the rubies you collected from Krakengard. From the banker, head back up the steps, through the archway, and over the rail right in front of you. Talk to this guy and hand in 1 ruby and 2 sea spice. You can hand in twice for 2 swords. We'll stop here for now. This is already getting kinda long and there's a lot more to cover going forward. We're most likely going to Finala's Revival Plains and Underspine Hollow next. See you there.